You're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, hosted by Steve Jenny and his satanic assistant, Alex Houdini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
And welcome to Nocturnal Frequency Radio. So live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course simulcasting here on our YouTube channel and Twitch. And we might get a little twitchy tonight, but I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous with our guests tonight. No, I'm not nervous.
Should be.
We should be nervous.
Well, yeah.
'Cause they know us better than most people.
We won't tell your secrets.
Guys, welcome Michelle and Amelia from the Outer Realm Radio Show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's always fun having you guys on, and
It's always fun being here.
Yeah, we always look forward, and you guys put on a great show. I absolutely, I know I do, and I notice Alex pops in there too. You guys put on a good show, a lot of great guests.
Thank you.
A lot of great topics. I mean, and you know, it's not run of the mill stuff. It's not.
We try not to be run of the mill.
Well, that's the thing. You guys find guests.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, where did you find this person?
People contact us. We have a waiting list, and we book
there you
months
go.
ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's good that you have people
We're lucky.
lining up. No wonder, Alex, they never answer the door when we knock.
Yeah, no.
What? We're here.
What?
We are here, man.
I see your pants on fire.
Right? Yeah.
Where there's smoke.
There's smoke. Yeah.
Wow.
So lately, what have you guys been covering on this show? Like, I mean, you guys, it's been an array of different stuff, but I mean, has there been something that you guys been centering a lot on?
I think we just go with the flow of who contacts us, who comes on. We have our audience. They just love pretty much everything. It's a whole mix of high strangeness. So, but right now it seems to be, obviously paranormal is always really big with our listeners. And, ufology is really big because I think the two cross over often. So it's not surprising that people would have that interest in both. But we have a whole mix of everything and anything. I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on, is just, having a bit of everything for everyone.
For those who may not know who Michelle and Amelia are. Michelle, do you just want to start with giving people a little background, a little bit about your background?
About my background?
About your background.
Oh boy.
In the paranormal, if you will.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've spent the last probably couple of decades, close to, in the field of the paranormal, and most people will, know me from doing certain ghost tours that I shall remain nameless, and shows like Paranormal Survivor, things of that nature.
I've seen you on TV.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
I even took a picture where I paused it.
Oh, I know. This is horrible. Why do people always freeze when you're going? Really stupid.
Wait, double take.
You? Yeah, great. Thank you.
I take great pictures of you.
I know. Who's conscious about it? Yeah, I know.
I take really good pictures of her. Are you kidding me?
And those pictures, Amelia, you have to admit they're when you're together with her one-on-one. Those are the pictures you're talking about, right?
No, I take pictures of Michelle while she's on TV. I do. I take them and I send them to her in case she wants to use them. I'm like, this came out
Doesn't
really
get me
good.
looking all gormless.
Like I always look for the best side, right? Because when you're taking it from television and you hit that pause button, you've already blurred her face.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like take the video and then
So everybody, because a lot of people send pictures of me that they see me on TV. So I got to take a crash course from Amelia.
Yes, because you're sending in blurry faces and one eyes.
Yeah.
But she loves them. She does appreciate them and loves them.
Oh, I do. People do all kinds of, send photos or do art renditions and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be loved. When you're at the certain large hardware store one day and someone points at me from across like 3 aisles over, hey, that person with the hair.
I know you.
It's her signature. That hair is her signature. It's her personal private formula.
Every time I think about changing it, people like, don't do it.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
My stigma is I saw you on that cooking show. You were having a food intervention. Oh,
okay, sure.
Food intervention.
Amelia, how about you?
There's not much to say about me. I'm generational medium. I'm a remote viewing medium. I didn't know I was remote viewing till I was actually working with somebody who instructs it. I just thought that I've always read that way. I worked mostly in crime up until I met Michelle in 2018. And then in 2019, we started working together and I started coming on to the other side. It's got to tell you, though, serial killers and rapists are a lot easier than demonics. Mm-hmm. That's about it. I work a lot with missing children and cold cases. Children are my priority.
And you know what? Amelia was one of our first live on location guests.
Yeah, you put me in a haunted location.
Haunted location.
Oh, you enjoyed it. Come on.
I loved it. I drove down. I'm like, I'm sitting here with two really good looking guys. This is going to be fun. But it was a lot of fun. It was shocking for me. I've never signed an autograph. That was the first. It was just bizarre, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was so much fun. It was nice having that live audience right in front of you that you can talk to. And I love that they were all on couches and chairs. And it was a lot of fun. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's, interacting with the live audience it just brings so much more atmosphere to doing a live show.
Yeah.
And it was really weird because we were talking about it before about this one audience member who was from India.
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh, hey guys, I was just wondering if I can get your autograph."
It's like, what?
I've been listening to the show all the way from India. Holy shit, really?
That's fantastic. It's bizarre. I can't remember which one of you is like, okay, you're gonna take pictures with him. And I'm like, I don't take pictures. I'm like, what's going on? It was just Steve. A really surreal experience. It was very humbling, but like I said, I loved the audience. They were so kind and loving. You guys had a great audience. You have a great audience. It was they made it easy.
Well, I think we're going to do another one. We're going to do one, I think, for our nocturnal gathering in October.
Ooh.
You guys are coming, right?
Sorry?
I'm asking them if they're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope they come.
Yeah, you better come.
Yeah.
As long as it's not on Halloween, because Michelle, she's just booked that day.
No, it's not on Halloween.
My Octobers are pretty booked up, but I'm sort of retired or semi-retired from a lot of different things. So now I'm starting to find a bit more peace. So it's just really nice.
Well, it's in your old stomping grounds of Burlington.
That wasn't the response you were.
I know, but
Burley.
But yeah, Burley. And we could invite somebody else. No, just,
please do. I'll take care of that.
Yeah, but October 21st.
Okay. I'll write it down.
I don't have my calendar, but I'm sure I'll write it down. What day is that? On a Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, a Saturday night.
Saturday. Okay.
Michelle can pick me up on the way.
Yeah, Stephen out.
I can give you. 21st. I can say yes right now, but with my daughter, I have no idea where I'm going to be at. But I can say yes right now, and then providing how she's doing at that point.
How is your daughter doing? Because she's gone through a lot. Holy moly.
she got kidney transplant in January, and her dad,
Yeah.
my husband, was her donor, and it's been a roller coaster with the
Yeah.
meds. It's been a lot of, they don't tell you a lot of stuff, but I don't want to put doom and gloom on it.
Mhm.
She's got a lot of really serious side effects from the meds.
Ouch.
So her immune system is at almost zeros.
Ouch.
Depending on where she's at right now,
Yeah.
she's like, it's hard to say I can be somewhere where there's a lot of people because of, you know, her condition. I can't get sick and bring it home to her, kind of thing. She can't get a cold right now. She'll end up in the hospital.
Yeah, definitely. You have to
But
be
she's
careful.
a warrior. She's starting to work again and trying her best, because it's hard to sit still. But yeah.
Well, let's
Okay, thank you for asking.
Yeah. No, because I was reading everything. I was like, because you're posting stuff and reading the articles and
I
everything.
am
so
not ashamed to ask for prayers.
Yeah, no, always,
Yeah.
always with something like that, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely always.
I'm not embarrassed to do it.
Yeah.
And she's a devout Catholic, not me, but she is, and you know, whatever helps. But
Well-
she's also the ambassador for the Kidney Foundation
Oh,
in
wow.
Ontario and for St. Joseph's Hospital in Hamilton. So it's important. That's why she was documenting her journey,
Mhm.
was to help other people who, they don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
You go into the surgery and you find out whatever you need to know that day, that week. They literally take you that way. And it's a hard thing to live this way for a year.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a pandemic lockdown for her,
Mhm.
because she has been, you know, isolated since January. But she does little things, and where she does go, she's always on her own. Like, there's no one else around her. If she goes for her hair or her nails, both places, I know the owners, and one of them, the owner's sister, had a transplant. So they're very good with her.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate, you know, to have great friends like that. But she has a perspective and a positiveness about her. And I know she's going to get through this. It's just normal to be balancing medication to see what works. And she's very tiny. So the slightest thing will just offset everything.
Yeah.
But right now they're working on the prednisone. Is, wow. Who knew? I did not know the side effects of prednisone like that.
Yeah. The drugs are just crazy.
They do good things and they hurt at the same time. And there's 36 pills a day from someone who never had a pill and, you know, was working out constantly. But the highlight is she's doing well. The function is improving. Everything's improving. She'll have her ups and downs and her dips, but she's going to come out of this okay.
That's
I
good
really
to hear.
believe
That's
that.
good to hear. That's good to hear. Of course,
Thank you.
positive thoughts, right?
Thank
Positive
you.
thoughts.
I take them all. I take them all. Yes.
Positive thoughts.
Yes.
Well, that's good to hear. So,
Thank you.
yeah. So we kind of talked roughly about, and I kind of talked about this a little bit before with somebody else, but I wanted to get your guys' take on this. And you know, haunted locations and the stigma behind them. You know, everything from, you know, if somebody has they own a home and it's haunted, do they have to, you know, I know in some parts of the US, I don't know what it's like here with Canada. I don't know what realty is like in terms of having to disclose that you have a haunted location. But I mean, you know, somebody trying to sell it and to when the person buys it and it wasn't disclosed, and you know, a business trying to, you know, open something else, and obviously the surrounding community knows this place is haunted, but you're like, what, and they can't get their startup business going because of the stigma. I mean, your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I know I did an article for the Toronto Star back in 2007, and they had realtors involved in the article as well. Basically, back then, they were saying you had to disclose if someone died in the house or if the house was haunted. I don't know realistically if it still is. I know I've had a lot of realtors through the years contact me for assistance. You know, so we sold the last house, and it was, you know, gently haunted at that point compared to what it
Gently.
used to be, but the owner asked me, the new owner, she goes, is it haunted? It's very mysterious. She's Chinese, so she didn't really know how to ask it. Because they're very superstitious. And I said, well, it might be. And she goes, well, maybe I make more money that way. I said, yeah, you probably will.
You could drive the price up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it seems to be a thing. So I don't really think people, I know there are people that actively look for haunted places.
I didn't think it was necessary to disclose that here in Canada, though.
Well, all I can do is go by the article, which goes back to 2007. That's a long time ago. So I don't know what the rules are now. But back then, realtors were told, because they had contributed also, that they were told it would be, beneficial, that they should be disclosing it. Because I guess there were a couple of instances at that time where people went to litigation because they weren't told. Now, I don't know if that involves the fact that there was a death in the home or not.
That I think you have to disclose.
Yeah. So I don't, beyond that, I don't really know. Like we weren't specifically asked, hey, just look at that house. You assumed it was haunted right away, which is something a lot of people make the mistake of doing. But in this case, it was. So, but it was never presented to us to have to disclose it.
Yeah, it's well, the reason why is because, like I said, I had somebody contact me. Obviously, I won't go into details, but it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this. But it's just fascinating that this person had bought a business that is well known, a location that's well known in a certain area that has a long history of being haunted. Activity going on, lots of lore.
Have I been there?
You probably have.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so curious right now. So
yeah.
Okay.
So the new owner who just took over the lease, he didn't know, it wasn't disclosed. He didn't know, and he wanted to open a startup business in there, and started interviewing people to possibly work for him. And they said, no way, I'm sorry, I can't work there, it's haunted. He couldn't believe the amount of stigma that was attached to this location. That is it that bad? Is the haunting that bad? I mean, we were in there.
I have to know the location. Just saying.
There'd have to be an investigation too.
And
don't take anyone's word for anything.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
I'll message you later.
Okay. I'll take that.
Check your message. Hold on here. I'll send it to you in hold on. I'll send it to you in our little chat there.
Oh, there we go. I never go to haunted places. They just happen to find me. I end up there. It's not purposefully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like restaurants and water mills and stuff
yeah.
like that, right? Like I just get there
times.
and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
Been there several times, yeah.
So I mean, yes,
Yeah.
we've investigated it several times,
Yeah.
and never really found anything extremely malevolent.
No.
A
It's
lot
just
of
active.
very active, very subtle,
Residual too.
residual.
Yeah.
And that's what I told the guy. The guy's just like, is this to the point where it's going to harm anybody? I said, no.
What I would recommend, because I know the area, is that maybe sometimes when you're dealing with different, let's say, religious backgrounds, ethnic
that's what
people,
I mentioned.
they have superstitions or they have different belief systems, and I do know the area, so I'm thinking you could be running into that as part of the problem.
And that's what I mentioned to him. I mentioned that a lot of the people in the area
Mm-hmm.
have been, especially people who have reached out and who have told you this, have probably lived in the area for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, most newcomers to that area probably don't even know that it's haunted.
Right.
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 So basically, he was asking, can
Oh,
possibly
Steve froze.
No, I think you froze, Alex. Everybody
Alex
else
is frozen.
Alex is
It's you,
frozen.
Alex is
Alex.
frozen.
It's all you, Alex.
It's all you, Alex.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Should have shared a burrito.
I say burrito boy. It's all you. Yeah.
Should have shared.
Oh, poor Alex.
There he is.
I'm here.
There we go.
There you go.
Pink lights.
But I
know-
gave him the assurance. I said, look at, I mean, we could come back in there and tell you what we get.
Yeah.
Present it to you if that will make you feel, Alex is haunted. Make you feel
Yes.
a little bit more at ease. But I'll tell you right now, no matter what we tell you, no matter what anyone says, unfortunately, people are always going to know or think that it's haunted,
Mm.
regardless. I mean, every Halloween, there's going to be a top 5 locations that are haunted in that part of the city or whatever, and that's going to pop up in the search, guaranteed.
Right.
You
You know it. But I you can't get away from some of that.
You can't.
But I think it's because of the nature of the business
Mm-hmm.
also. So it's not so much that you would run into even people who want to work there, but you're going to have to deal with people who'd be just like, why do I want to be here as a patron?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you could run into an issue like that as well. I personally, anywhere I go in the world, I will purposely look for places to stay that are haunted. It doesn't matter where I end up. That's where I feel comfortable, what I really enjoy. I don't know. It's almost like you're waiting for that experience because you've been doing this so long. You're just kind of like, gonna get something different, or just feel like that kid again, just waiting for something to happen.
Well, find those experiences in 5-star hotels too.
Yeah.
Just saying, there's quite a few that I've been there. Pardon?
Some whacked out stuff in some hotels,
especially in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, it's like one place that I'm most likely going to visit this time because I'll have the time to do it. Is in Nashville. We're going to Nashville.
Ooh, nice.
And we're going to. I know I'm going to make a point of visiting the Bell Witch Cave. And
I had friends who
I thought you were
did
going to say
that.
drinking beer.
Yeah. The friends that I've had who have gone have had pretty impressive experiences.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you're meeting up with Pat?
Yeah. So Pat Fitzhugh, who's
good for you.
Yeah, he's I met up with him a couple years ago, before COVID there, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time. I was just passing through, but we met up for dinner. But this time I'll be there for a few days, so I definitely would like to get out there and visit the cave and the homestead, even though there's not much left of the homestead.
It's true. Yeah.
But
he's gonna come back a country rock star.
Ew, yeah, country rock star. Get out the banjo.
I'm getting a scene out of Deliverance.
Yeah, I know. It's
Sorry.
He's gonna have that old.
That comes to my mind.
I just heard that before you even said it.
I know.
Oh my god.
That's what went through my head. I went,
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting place. Going through the rolling hills of Kentucky, playing my banjo.
I'm leaving it alone.
Yeah, that's a sight.
Leaving it alone.
Alex, you froze again. I love that picture.
With a big smile on his face too. Look at that.
There's a rare moment. Screenshot that.
I know. It's
You
like,
know I
wow.
love them because I pick on them, right?
Yeah.
See, that's one of those freaking moments that you should be thankful I did not take a picture
See,
of. Yeah.
those are the kind of pictures that come in.
It's true.
Yeah.
I saw you on TV. Great. And you felt compelled to send that one, huh?
That's okay. You can send it. Just don't post it.
He's
There's a
possessed
difference.
tonight.
I am
Oh my
possessed.
god.
He's possessed.
I
tonight,
told you it's
doesn't
the pink lights.
he?
It's actually
Well, I
supposed
get
to be
it.
red.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming
I'm
out
sure
more
it is,
pink
but-
though.
Yeah,
Well,
it is
that's
coming up.
because
It's
my ass
reading
is hot.
pink, but I like pink, so don't worry.
It's like whatever you're drinking is pink too.
It's like, what?
The pink Kool-Aid.
It's like, what? Pink
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
It's just reading off. That's all. Probably
Yeah.
the combination
Drink
of
the
the lights
Kool-Aid.
with your screen light.
That's hilarious.
Oh, let me change the color of the light. Maybe that'll help.
Oh,
It's a
here we
other
go.
movie.
Here we go. He has the power to do that too. Look.
I've
Before he
seen
free
his-
before
I've
he
seen his light
freezes.
display. I know.
Yeah, it's taking forever to load. The internet's being fucking bitchy
It's
tonight.
freezing, right?
And
Just
pink
like
you
everything
are.
else.
Pink you are.
See, it looks
do that.
good. It doesn't look bad.
There
Nice.
do that one.
Oh.
Oh, that is really good on your skin tone. Nope, go back to that blue. That is great for your face.
Alex, you look very angelic.
I don't
No,
want to.
that blue light is really good on your skin, though.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep it as demonic as possible.
What's demonic as possible?
You should have black light.
Uh,
Oh, have you guys seen The Pope's Exorcist?
no, not yet.
Oh, I want to go see it. It looks pretty good.
I rented it online, and I heard a lot of bad stuff about it
Mhm.
on social media, which just makes me want to watch it even more.
I know. I'm
Right?
the same way.
Yeah, it just makes me want to watch it even more. And I was totally, maybe because I wasn't expecting it,
Okay.
I was pretty impressed with it.
yeah.
I mean, anything Russell Crowe's in isn't going to be that bad. So I just like that they told his story. I'm not sure if people that were criticizing it are so used to the Conjuring series that they seem to think that that is something that's horror, because they were telling the story of Father Gabriel Morth. It wasn't about all these cases. It was about, they had one and they exaggerated on it.
Mm.
They were just trying to show you what his life was like, how he had a very close friendship with the Pope,
Mhm.
and how he was the person who actually created that group, that class for the exorcists of today.
Mm.
So that's what they're showing you. So if you like something like The Rite, this would be, I have to say, I know some people are going to come at me for this. I have to say it's just right under that.
Oh yeah.
And that was a great film. And there was silly things in that movie as well. You know,
Well, you
there's
know
always silly things in a horror flick.
Yeah, always in a horror flick. And,
Yeah.
and when you're talking about like the paranormal and demonic and all
Mhm.
that, you're always going to get those.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Those
would say
ones.
it's worth watching. You're not going to waste your time. Like The Nun. Jesus.
I can't. You know what?
I
can't-
tried watching The Nun,
I-
but it
I-
was
I
it was
haven't tried.
pretty raunchy. Oh, you're
I
talking about the
laughed.
other movie.
No, I'm talking about not the one on Pornhub.
Sorry, not the NONE one. It's the NUN one, right?
And the story was so good, and then it just got so ridiculous. I was one of my BFFs, is a guy that I always go to see horror films with,
Mhm.
and Eric is like, and I'm like hysterical, and he's putting his hand on me. I was like, stop laughing. Everybody's screaming. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like I can't even sit here. I'll meet you outside. You know, like that kind of stupid. But you know, it's hard to impress when you're in the field. It's hard to impress
Mhm.
people like us and like your audience who are listening that are so interested in the paranormal. It's really hard to impress us at the movie theater.
It is because I mean, I think a lot of people
Yes,
who
the
are
one on Netflix, Melissa. Thank you.
are
Sorry.
serious about the paranormal will, and that's the thing. I mean, they know a lot of it is entertainment, if you will.
Absolutely.
It is exaggerated,
Yes.
to a certain point to be entertaining, because I mean, obviously, we're not going to give you, the flat story. It's boring. It's really not that exciting. But so we need something. It's like, and I'm sure Michelle can contest to this. We want your story to have demons in it. If they
That's
don't
how it is.
if they don't have demons, then we don't
Yep.
want them.
Yep. That's true.
Even though demons have nothing to do with it, throw
No.
one in, throw one or two of them in there.
Yeah, they
It's
can't
what
just sell
sells.
they can't just sell the story based on a true story. They have to
No.
elaborate, or it's nothing.
Yeah.
It
you know.
becomes a pet peeve, because when you're on the other side of the camera
Yeah.
and you're in front of the camera and you're answering all these logical, it's okay. Well, what could this be? Blah, 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 blah. What else could it be? Blah, 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 blah. But could it be this? Maybe. Yes, it could be this. Okay, just say yes, it can be. Yes, it could be this. It's. But when it's all the time, there's some cases where you could say yes, absolutely. But nobody wants to hear logic, like the
No.
logical parts of it. It doesn't sell, and everybody has a formula. And every show and movie right now, they go through a certain formula, and then next year it could be a different formula. And every network, every show of the same genre will all stick to the same formula.
Absolutely.
I like 100%. That came into my head. What Michelle always says about the formulas. That's how I learned about them, was from her. That's what I meant to say with it falls right under the right. It's that kind of formula where they tell the story, and then you get those, stupid incidences, and then you get those really, funny ones at the end. Like, I'm not going to spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the right, but I mean, it does get a bit ridiculous, and then you're like, but this was a good story. If you can come out of it with that, it was worth every cent you put in.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got a great story, then great. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Amityville has gotten more ridiculous every time they've done it, and it's a phenomenal movie. It's still a great story.
You know what? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think if anything, the thing that interests me the most is the whole DeFeo thing.
Oh yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
It's not what did or didn't happen with the Lutzes in that house. It's the DeFeo thing that interests me the most about that.
That DeFeo thing is so. You can look at it as a paranormal investigator, and you can look at it as a criminal profiler or a homicide investigator, because he has everything in one. A mass murder, his family, the demonic haunting. It's like, holy crap, which came first? And it's not a question of is there a demon. It's a question of what came first.
And there's there's so much going on there. I mean, the thought that is he covering for his sister?
That's a big one.
That's a big thing. I mean, the thought that maybe that his younger sister did this, and that he said no, I did it. The devil made me do it. Demon pushed me to do it, sort of thing. And then obviously
he just strayed from it too many times. He went back and forth with it. So but then you have to ask yourself, because this is something Amelia and I discussed many times. Did he have an attachment to start with?
Very
possible. When you're looking at somebody who's like trouble, not everybody that is trouble has attachment. So I just want to be clear about that. But there are some who actually do, because it just invites something in, or sometimes it's what starts the whole ball rolling. The guy had a volatile relationship with his father. His father was volatile, apparently.
His father was questionable.
You know what I mean? So then you get into that, then you get into, like drinking heavily and drugs just to get away from all of that. So you do that in excess. So you open right up. It's like, let's face it, substance abuse does, it opens you up, and you never know. So was it in the house or was it with him?
I don't know. There's an organized crime thing with that too. It's a tough one because it's hard, because I work both sides of the fence, and I'm just like, this is tough. Like profiling it one thing and looking into the family. His dad was corrupt.
That's
So it's just,
oh,
it's like,
right.
if it is an attachment, where did it come from?
Mm.
Was it
Have you met
his?
my
Was it the
friend?
house, or does it come from generationally?
Have you met my friend behind me?
Can't see anything.
It's just it's a dark, evil tale.
Yeah.
You want to see something demonic, and if anything, it is an example of how humans are probably so demonic, so evil, and
It
people
can be for sure.
very,
I
very
think a lot
evil.
of it comes from inside rather than external.
Well, yeah.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. I agree. We live in a society where we're conditioned from a young age and we're educated a certain way. Um, you know, I think, I mean, there are places in the world that, 4-day work weeks,
Hmm.
daycare, childcare is included.
Hmm.
Your place of work pays for that, or you can take your children to your place of work. They don't want you working overtime because they want you to be rested and sharp. We in the West, work long hours. We went
Yep.
from, 35-hour week, 40 week, 42-hour week, 50-hour week. Like then you come home. Some people have second jobs, and you have people who just, okay, time to get home, pick up the kids from school, time to make dinner. Then it's soccer. It's like to you don't have time to just relax. You don't have time to keep your head straight. You just roll into one thing after another. We're kept busy all the time. People get tired, people get ornery, people get angry, people look for releases. I just think it's the sign of the times, and has been for quite a while.
We need to stop glamorizing that. I like Italy's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Work 3 hours, go home for 4, come back for 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I like that lifestyle. That for
Have
me
your nap
works because
time.
I can get to the beach and still make money. So
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, their way
Yeah.
of life, their stress. There's no desire to have. I have to have this. I have to have that, or the greatest car. They don't care. They just want to
Yeah.
get to the beach in the summer, have a drink with their friends in the square, and go
Mm.
home. That's it. It's
See,
just too much.
I'm not the only one who's having issues.
I was
Steve
Now
gonna
I
just had a-
noticed that
Steve
since
just
one
had
of
a
you is
power
missing.
outage.
Oh,
Does he?
He just texted me. Yeah, he has a power outage right now. So
I
oh.
was worried about that here because the clouds are really low here today, and I'm like, oh my
We're not
God,
supposed to be
like
getting
it's
any rain,
flicking.
though. Nothing.
No, but the pressure over here
Yeah.
being where I am, it's like in the middle of nowhere, so it
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
Happens with high winds here. It's crazy. But
Yeah. Yeah.
oh wow.
So far, so
Yeah.
good here. I'm under the trees.
Yeah.
I got a buffer.
No, it was earlier. I was worried because my internet was going in and out, and I'm like, are you kidding? Really?
The beautiful thing.
What, you
Yeah.
don't have a generator? Come on.
What's wrong with him? Father's Day's coming up. Where's his wife?
Where's my generator?
Just invest in a few $1,000s worth of a generator.
Okay, it's okay. Anniversary, birthday. What can we nail him with? We'll just get the generator. I don't have one either, which is
Electronics are just acting up, though. I wonder if there's any solar flares. Anybody know if there's any solar flares? I've been fighting with my computer.
That or it's just me rubbing off on everybody.
There's one that they're
Go to my
expecting.
computer.
Oh, I know, right?
They're expecting a big solar flare coming soon. I think they just saw a big dark spot on the sun, face of the sun there, that they're anticipating a big solar flare.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that? NASA, or where did you see that?
I read it somewhere online. I can't remember where exactly it was.
Cool.
I
and
follow a
creepy is
YouTube
that?
guy.
Apparently
who's
this
on. There's some
block-
science
there's like-
dude.
This dark spot on the sun is about 4 times the size of planet Earth.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I wonder if something crashed into it, like another planet that we don't know about.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
Because it
know.
would have just melted, right?
I would have just vaporized, I would think.
Yeah. So, what could get that close?
Good question.
Bum, bum, bum.
Are they telling us everything?
Nobody tells us
down.
anything.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole, please.
No,
I know.
no,
Nobody
no.
tells us anything.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest skeptic with that stuff, but you also have to remember, without going down that rabbit hole, that there is a little bit of truth in everything.
Of course. right?
Uh,
It's just to what extent the truth is, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
the thing you got to keep in mind.
your guest, I'm being a host. Your guest, the bearded drifter, hello,
Yeah.
said in 1973 Exorcist film effed me up as a kid. Still can't watch it today. And I'm 50. Well, I'm 54. And let me tell you something. They're remaking the film.
Are they?
Yeah, I read it somewhere.
But
I
do
read
they
it
really
online
need
somewhere.
to?
Seriously.
Do they
I
really
was
need
just
to
like,
remake it?
you're kidding. How do you remake that film? Everybody in that movie, except for Reagan, is gone.
All I know is I'm excited that they're remaking Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice 3, right?
No, well, I guess so. They just said they're remaking it.
They're doing
a new
Jenny
Beetlejuice.
Ortega is going to be Christina Ricci's daughter. And they're
Right.
back in the house.
Should be good. Should be good.
I saw that.
So-
Jenny Ortega is a great actress.
Yeah, I love that show. It was just good. So
It's funny.
I know.
I like the secretary in the office smoking and it's coming out of her severed neck.
Oh,
It's like
this
so
is
silly.
going down a very different path.
It is.
Okay, where do you want to go? It's your show.
I'm just
I
saying.
know.
Yeah, we should be
I
talking
know.
about
I
death and
know.
destruction. No, I'm just kidding.
Death and destruction. Okay, death and destruction.
So you want to go into politics, do you?
No. That's
all right,
even
so
worse.
we were on stigmatized properties and places, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what
so-
we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the take on well, as a researcher from your standpoint, what is the take on people who keep encouraging things to happen? They get that haunted location and they just and I agree there should be places where people go into to investigate whether a safe environment, it's monitored environment, because some people investigate, maybe they shouldn't because they're a little careless, or maybe they're just not versed, or maybe people just don't care. There's just many people. We're a whole array of different people who share a lot of similar interests. But I've known people who have had haunted locations, and they're making a fortune off of it, and there just doesn't seem to be any. I mean, I've represented some of these places. It's like, no problem. Is it a fortune? I don't think in Canada it's as big of a thing as it is in, let's say in the United States, or in England seems to be another big one. So does that create, like, where I'm going with it is the amount of revolving doors of people coming in, let's say with their own baggage, or bringing in things that maybe they shouldn't be bringing in, which just keeps adding to
Feeding the fuel to the fire.
Yeah, adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's your take on that? Does that create or add to that stigma?
For me personally, I think it does. Only because
Okay.
it's almost like you're bringing in people that antagonizes whatever's there.
I'm
Right.
with
Steve's
you on
back.
that.
But
Well,
yeah, that's
Wow, that was the shortest power outage ever.
No, we've been having the power's been like
Blackouts?
blackouts,
Yeah.
brownouts,
Aw.
and it's ridiculous. It just
Is it just your grid? Have you called
I think it's the grid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Oh,
second
yeah.
time today it's happened. It happened earlier, about an hour, or sorry, about a couple hours ago, and then
you'd have to invest in a generator, Steve.
yeah. What a
We were just
pain.
talking about people, investigators, and people visiting haunted locations that might be adding to the stigma in the way they investigate. Probably would have been easier for me to put it that way instead of going on about it the way it was. Killing
That's
time
okay.
and all.
Well, you know what? Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I agree. I agree because
Yeah.
it's even when you go into a location, and let's take a famous location by for example, like say Waverly Hills.
Right.
Mm.
Okay.
And you go into this place and they fill you up with so much hype and myths and legends and what they say is history, but I don't know if it's completely correct. But
I'm surrounded by objects from Waverly, just saying.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to properly investigate a place like that because your head's been filled with all this stuff. And I know a lot of people, they don't like to go into some of these places with being front loaded too much.
Well, no, you want to try to get that information for yourself, because I mean, some people are making a boatload
Yeah.
of money off these places. So, you know, which I think is okay if that's you bought it for that reason, and it's you have to pay for it, you have to upkeep it, you have to maintain it. I completely understand that, but should there be guidelines as to how things, like when people used to come and investigate, the haunted manor that we had guidelines, and we would prepare the spirits and say, okay, partake if you want, don't if you don't want to. It doesn't make a difference. People would come there and film, people would come there, spend the night, people would want to do their own investigations, and we're like, okay, but it had to be respectful, because we had somebody come in one time completely disrespectful, just start screaming out there at the spirit people in the house, and they were very lovely people. There wasn't anything malevolent there.
Mhm.
And the whole house went quiet for about a week and a half, just completely. I was just like, wow, this was really difficult. And we realized at that point we can't just let people go in and do whatever they want to. Some people just aren't nice investigators,
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I've worked with quite a lot of people, in so many different. I mean, there's some pretty militant investigators
Yeah,
out
let's
there
go with
too.
militant.
Yeah,
That's
The-
very
there,
friendly.
there,
Yeah,
there
a little
is
militant.
like I mean, there are investigators that have to have complete control. They have to have, look at, I want a temperature check. Here's the book. Go write down the room. Write down temperature check every
That's
5
okay,
minutes.
though. That's
That's
okay.
okay. It's scientific.
Yeah,
I
sure.
get
Yeah.
it. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. But I mean, if you forget to write down in there and they notice and they're like, "Oh, whoa, what are you doing? You're supposed to," look at.
That's silly.
But there are people that just like, no,
Yeah.
can't miss anything. And I get it. When you're documenting the paranormal, you do need that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You do need that because I mean,
But should you be out there screaming and challenging? I command you to show yourself.
no,
That can never be a good thing.
This whole agonizing or
Antagonizing.
antagonizing, whatever. Sorry, yeah, these
Yeah.
these
I'm
spirits.
Steve's thesaurus.
Yeah. These non-actors, because I mean they're not actors.
Yeah.
No,
You swear at them, and maybe you'll get a brick thrown at you, like
it's
somebody
crazy. It's not
well-known.
an exorcism. It's an
I
investigation.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's the old saying, you get more bees with honey very much goes a long way. Investigation. You shouldn't be
I don't know about
doing
you.
that.
I don't know about you guys, but when I go into a place and I'm investigating it, I want to feel the location. I want to try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sort of be a part of that location. I
Mm.
mean, it's not always like that, but I mean, if there's a moment that you're able to do it, to try to understand what you're dealing with, then great. I mean, I had an experience in the Spruce Lane farmhouse, where I was doing that. I was sitting down and I was just calm, and I'm not psychic. I'm very I'm the furthest from being psychic as can be.
Mm.
But I just had this overwhelming feeling that there was children present in the room there with me.
Mm.
So I started, gearing my conversation towards children, and back then they weren't allowed in that room. It was forbidden for children to go into that room.
Yes. Yeah. Mm.
So what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be in here. You're gonna get in trouble. You're playing hide and go seek. What are you guys doing? What are you playing? And that kind of conversation. And then within minutes, all of a sudden, my shirt's tugged on like this.
See?
And it
Yeah.
was the most surreal thing that I had experienced at that point, because it was so natural. I can't think of the word, but it was it seemed so natural. It just seemed like it was supposed to be happening.
Right.
And yet most people go, "Oh my God, what the hell?" Like, oh, that freaked them out and they'd be running out of that room.
But do you think people lose sight of the fact that when you're dealing with human spirits, you're dealing with people without bodies, and their behavior is going to be pretty much the same as it was in life? If you go in there hooting and hollering, you're not going to get the reaction you think you are. They're probably going to go and hide, especially if they're children.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing applies if the person was a complete a-hole and ends up, in the spirit realm. Is not going to necessarily be any nicer.
But I think a lot of people who do this, not so much seriously, but for fly by night. Oh, it's the cool thing to do. They don't have
warriors.
They don't have that respect. They don't have that knowledge, if you will. They don't have that avenue. They're not. That isn't even a thought. If they're not going to if they're not going to respect you, people who are living, they're not going to respect those that are supposedly dead. And then you have the people who approach this outside the box too, right? They don't take any religion into this, and they view whatever interaction that you're having as something completely different. Because I mean, let's face it, a lot of what we're experiencing can't be explained. It can only be theorized, right? So you're going to you get a lot of these theories. Dead loved ones. Somebody who lived in this location, I'm making contact with, and maybe that's not it at all. Maybe you're making contact with somebody who's alive, but in a different dimension.
Dimensional bleed through.
Thanks.
Taldo
follows us
Right?
everywhere.
That's right.
Right?
It follows us everywhere.
Right?
Yeah. I agree. 100%. I agree.
And how do you know that we aren't dead?
Right?
My God!
How did
What
Spirit tell
mushroom
me that
got
one
you
time?
sick?
No, I'm serious. Anything
I can answer that question.
Anything is at play here.
Coming from the guy with the pink
With the
Kool-Aid.
mushroom
Okay,
or
what?
the?
All I have to do is kick Steve in the balls. He'll know he'll know he's
here we
alive.
go.
That's it.
No, I do agree. I once had a spirit, I communicated to the spirit. I says, thinking that I was being all wise and all. So, do you know you're dead? And it goes, you're dead. Okay, maybe.
If it's dimensional, that makes total sense.
It was completely full on in front of me.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. I wasn't in the paranormal then. Like this was before. I was just being that good Samaritan, and I was put in my place.
I mean, let's face it. Life as we know it is a man-made construct.
Yes.
It's a physical, it's tangible, and everything that we have created, pretty much everything outside that creation is what we think is the paranormal. Is like, okay, wait a sec, that's not normal.
Right.
But is it though? Is what we've created not the normalcy, but everything outside it the normal?
Right.
Right. And these are the things that you have to take into consideration when you're investigating the paranormal. Right. You really do. I mean, you have to.
I agree with you.
You have to take everything into that game to understand.
I think personally that the likelihood of that is very likely. I do, because because I'm sure we know there's a lot of deceased people here. There's a lot of residual.
Mhm.
As far as dimensional goes, I completely believe that there's more going on with that than meets the eye.
Mhm.
I was telling Amelia, I've mentioned it on the air a couple of times about moving to this house. For example, the last house was it was always busy. When I say busy, I don't just mean just spiritually busy. I mean frequency busy. There's always things that were going on that I was always hearing. And I knew it wasn't necessarily within the space. Fast forward, and we move here.
Mhm.
And as I was saying to Wayne, I said, "Did you hear that?" He goes, "What?" I'm going, "Absolutely freaking nothing." Isn't this amazing? It was so
It's rare.
freaking quiet.
Yeah.
But then within a week, I'm hearing music at any given time of the day, all different types, like choirs, like Gregorian chanting, like Nordic chanting, like flutes, like piano. I'm just sitting here in the middle of the day. I'm going, there's nothing. There's
Mm.
nothing. So what am I hearing?
Wayne
hearing-
outside with a Bose link.
Maybe. Maybe it's my damn TV. Shut up, Alexa. I don't know, but I think sometimes we start tapping into things that we don't think we can tap into.
Exactly.
And I also believe these 5G towers are very powerful. So are we picking up things? Are they transmitting things, and where are they pulling it from?
Yeah, I mean,
Just an example, because they're out there. They're pretty strong.
well, yeah.
If you're
I
sensitive.
mean, we know about 5G, but the thing is, do we know about 5G?
Don't
Long
get me
term,
started.
I know.
Let me get my tin hat.
That's
know.
another rabbit
I
hole.
know. That's an entirely
She'll bring
huge
you to
rabbit
9.
hole.
Yeah.
Another
know.
can of worms that we could open,
I
but
know.
we'll set it aside for another show.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to take a break here in about a minute. But yeah, it's yeah, and I think that's why the paranormal, like sort of the research. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there that are researching and making headway.
Yep.
Science is making headway.
Yep.
But the thing is, for the most part, when you look at the paranormal investigative sort of side of things, because of the entertainment stream that's been with us for several years now, it's knocked it back to the Stone Age.
I think so.
It's like we've brought parlor tricks back into the investigative sort of realm.
Yes.
And these are neat gadgets. And people, these guys,
the gadgets.
yeah, these guys, they had gadgets 125 years ago.
Yeah.
I am the gadget.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think people, let's face it, not everybody has the ability to join a reputable group in their
No.
area. Now all you need is Facebook, and you're a group.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're lucky. Some people do it. Well, I'm part of this group in England, and I'm going to participate by just because I know people who do that, and they participate and they investigate and do historical research and things like that on behalf of the team. So I'm happy to see people coming together, but
Yeah.
I think that there are those people who don't have a luxury of anything, and everything they do, if they have to go out on their own, they're basing it on what they're seeing on television.
Mhm.
And even some of the stuff you're seeing online isn't accurate.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hold that thought. We're going to take a break. You're listening and watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio here live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course here on YouTube and Twitch with our good friends Michelle and Amelia from the Outer Realm Radio Show. We were contacted by this band out of England, out of the UK, called Maximum Robot. We're going to play their new tune. Well, a tune called Valium. Ooh, cool. And more. So hold tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Once again, you're watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio. And let's see. I did have it loaded up, but thanks to the you know what?
To hear
His hand is way above his head.
with the commercials and the same 5 songs again and again,
And again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
there's only one place to lock it down. New Visions Radio. No commercials, the best talk, and the best new music all over the world. NewVisionsRadio.com.
This is Keith Age, and you're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Enjoy.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens due to the crisis that is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages and cities, and rural homes and suburbs with no apparent pattern nor reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden general explosion of mass homicide.
Muted, Steve.
And we're back. We keep losing Michelle.
No.
So, anyways, welcome back to Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Man, the song was taking a beating. Oh, anyways, that was wow, that was Maximum Robot. Come on, guys, come on, don't be so terrible. Anyways.
Glad I stepped away from that one then.
Oh. But anyways, moving along here. So talking about investigators and you know, their sort of influence on an investigation. And I don't know, like when you go into an investigation, Michelle, or in the past, I mean, what kind of people do you surround yourself with, or like to surround yourself with?
People who I would feel comfortable in calling family. So people that I was very, very close to. My team at the time, aside from a couple of very subtle changes, on an average, never changed. And these people were with me for years. I never had to open my mouth. Everybody knew what they had to do, and they did it properly. You know, they didn't go running around screaming and trying to do, you know, EVPs and wandering in. And meanwhile, we're all trying to figure out what was that we heard. If they walked into a room, they announced themselves, they time-stamped it. They did what they had to do. They left, time-stamped it again, and I knew exactly what was going on during what time. They didn't run around a location making all kinds of noise. So, you know, if you're dropping recorders everywhere and cameras everywhere, the last thing you want to do is be trying to figure out what you just heard and why the hell were you hearing it and it's not dead. So, you know, it's like, I never had to say anything. Everybody knew what they had to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you want to have that sort of that vibe. I mean, the guys I work with now, well, it's been a while. COVID's taken a lot. I haven't really been too active on the investigative sort of side.
No,
right? Just more or less the other side. But the guys in the group are, they're like an extended family.
Exactly.
You know, an extended, you know, worked with them quite a lot. And, you know, we go into a place, we know what to do. I mean, you know, you don't have to give any instructions, you know, look at everybody knows their place sort of thing. And, you know, except for when Alex comes out though, but
Kool-Aid, isn't it? Yeah.
I clear the place.
He
I
clears
clear
the place right out.
Yeah.
Nice
Uh,
bean
uh,
burritos. It's not your
yeah.
method.
Yeah, we're talking about physically and mentally and spiritually.
The only thing I stipulate when I go on an investigation is to bring gas masks.
There we go. There we go.
I
Thankfully, I'm not there.
Oh.
Thankful.
I do remember making the mistake. We were going down to Iron Island Museum in Buffalo, New York, and carrying out an investigation in there. And we made the terrible mistake of stopping off to get a bite to eat beforehand. That being Taco Bell. And
Taco Bell's never.
Alex
a good
is smiling.
It's never a good
He's
decision.
I know.
That wasn't the time I came with you, though.
No.
Okay.
No,
were
and
late.
I think this was one of the first times we went down there, and we were myself and one of the other guys, Rob. We were downstairs and we were doing some audio work, and literally, I was, all the shenanigans going on, and then I remember going back and listening to all the audio to see if I could, get anything right, if we captured anything, and all of a sudden you just hear the no, you don't hear that. You hear the stomach like rumbling.
Oh no.
Right,
And you're thinking you're getting something outstanding.
you hear that.
Yeah.
You hear the odd, these weird noises that your stomach makes, and then all of a sudden in the background you do hear the flagellants. Wow. Hold on, I gotta replay that. What was that?
Yeah, but okay, at least you
Market.
did not put it out there
No.
as something.
No.
Yeah,
God,
people have done that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
This is a thing, and I'm
Way
just
too
going,
often.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I've captured a ghost.
Mhm, there we go. Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Haven't we all been there at some point with somebody on the team or in the house? It's like, oh,
well, I remember
growing pains for real.
growing pains. It's just something. I remember somebody one time was awfully sick, and had the flu, and we had traveled down to the Shanley Hotel. We had traveled down there. We were staying at the Shanley Hotel, and one of the guys was sick, had the flu really bad, and was up all night long. You're trying to sleep, and all of a sudden you're, somebody's getting a little sick, and you're like, yeah, this place is really haunted. It is really haunted. But there's all sorts of funny stories, I guess you could sort of take into account over the years of doing this. I mean, hey, we are human, right?
Yeah. Yep. I can't lump myself up into that group though. But I've had people on the team where I'm just sitting there going, did you seriously just do that? Wasn't me, it was a ghost. I freaking know it wasn't a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you had one of those thermal cameras, you can actually prove it to the person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like the blue stuff in the pool.
Yeah.
That's bad.
See, this is not a ghost. This is coming out of your
Beautiful
rear end.
Oh,
Your rear end.
God. How about go to an I've never been on an investigation, but how about go to an investigation hungry instead?
Oh, then you definitely have the stomach growls.
Well, like have something light, because even a salad from Taco Bell is going to give you the same issue.
True,
I mean,
yeah.
everything that comes out of there does that. So
Mhm.
Yeah. And that was part of the conversation in the one episode I did with Healthy Gourmet. We
lovely.
did an episode where you have to eat, if you eat like burgers and stuff like that, you're definitely going to be falling asleep, but you have to eat light. You have to eat healthy and stuff like that if you want to stay awake during the long hours of these investigations, and it was just funny, just funny.
Java.
Yeah, Java, yeah, coffee,
Java,
yeah, exactly. Lots
Stay
of
away from the
coffee.
dairy.
Oh yeah, lots of
Black.
coffee.
Black
Lots
coffee.
of coffee.
Cold
Yeah.
brew.
See, that's the life of many paranormal
Mhm.
investigators. It's not all glamorous like people think. Like you go in there and get all this stuff. Sometimes you spend more time just trying to drink coffee to stay awake. And you know, if you're out in a place for like 8 hours, and if you get half an hour worth of stuff, you would be doing good. It's just a very
Well,
small amount of stuff.
that's the thing.
If you're lucky.
You don't see those 8 hours of whatever's going on. The long periods of nothing.
Yes.
The long periods of I need some caffeine.
For the most
I need
part,
some,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I've been to places as soon as I walk in the door, things start happening.
Yeah.
And you get really good recordings. And it's like, geez, but that it's just so few and far between. Like let's face it, when you're spending decades doing something, as
Mhm.
if you compiled all of your evidence,
Mhm.
how many hours do you think you actually got out of all the hours you put in?
Oh, it's minuscule.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it
It's-
even reach an hour?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. I mean,
If you're lucky,
something.
it'll reach an hour.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think about
well.
when I see, behind the scenes on certain paranormal shows. Like I said, I haven't done a proper investigation. And I see those headsets on and they're on it for hours and video clips. And
that's
that's
all
a
it is.
lot.
It's like,
Yeah, that's a lot. Like
Well,
those are energy drink days.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey Steve,
Those
we're
are
gonna have to
definitely
bring
Red Bull days.
Amelia to the woodlot.
What? But I am the gadget.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is something
I am the
paranormal
gadget. Yeah.
producers don't understand either. Because I was asked to do a show, and they're like, "Well, we would like you to, they only want you, or you're gonna do this many episodes."
Mhm.
This is a series I was offered that I turned down. They want to pay so much. I'm like, you don't factor in. Let's say hypothetically, you want me to be at a location for, I'm just going to round it off at 5 hours.
Mhm.
Now let's say there's 10 rooms there that you want recorders in. Let's say there's 5 rooms that you want, video in. Okay. Now let's not count everything you want me to do in between. Who the heck do you think has to go through all that afterwards? That way
Exactly.
you don't get paid for.
Mhm.
And they're just like, well, some
Yeah.
poor sap did it because I said no, and that show went on as planned, and it got voted like the worst show on Netflix.
Probably
or
did
something.
everything for free.
I know. I'm like, I
Yeah.
knew it was a good reason I didn't do it, but that's a lot of behind the scenes. You spend more time going through the analysis of everything than you do the actual investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You literally hours upon hours of video just to find, in many cases, nothing.
Right.
A
This is where
video.
you need. This is where
know?
you need unpaid interns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody
I used to have
dedicated
co-op
to-
students. It was great. They
But
loved
they
it.
have to want to do it because some of them
Well,
will
that's
just
the thing,
sit there
yeah.
for the hours
They
to write
did.
down for school. Everybody's a player.
Oh,
right?
I had
But-
co-op students like year after year. They're like, "Oh, that's all I have to do. Can we do fun stuff?" Okay.
Yeah, it's fun for them.
They love
I
it.
think that
Yeah.
they should change these formulas of not bringing mediums on when they're doing investigations on these shows, because I find that the shows that do have mediums are always finding a lot of stuff, and they're also a lot more entertaining, my opinion, than the scientific ones. And it's not because it's what I do, because I wouldn't do that. Like it's not me, but I'm saying the ones that I have seen, I love them. Like I look at them and think, wow, you guys did like top notch picking this one. And I'm not going to say names, but there's one that I really, really love seeing her, and she's done a few different shows. And I just find it much more entertaining with her than without her.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I've worked with many psychics and mediums and sensitives and all sorts of intuitives. Um, and really, to be honest, I think I've come across maybe one or two that has totally blown my mind away.
Yeah, that's
Total,
normal. Not
totally.
everybody's meant to be doing that kind of
Mm.
work, picking up that kind of spirit and
And
everything, right?
being so accurate, just so scary accurate. It's just incredible. When you do find that person, you're like, wow. Because I'm skeptical. I'm a healthy skeptical person,
Yeah,
and I
me
think
too.
you have to be like that.
Mhm.
And because if you didn't, everything would be a ghost. Let's
Mhm.
face it, right?
No, I like
mean-
everything validated.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to outright debunk things because I mean, yeah, things are happening. Things are definitely happening. There's no doubt about it. It's just a sense of trying to explain it.
Yeah.
And that's the fun. That's the fun, trying to explain what finding you have. What do you have? What exactly is going on? Tell me what's going on. And that's the fun part.
I like when they work together, you
Mhm.
know, where you have the investigator, like I said, and working together, they validate each other.
Mhm.
I just enjoy watching that more. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's hard to find really accurate. And like I said, not everybody's meant to do that. Some people, their strength is reading. Some people, it's, you know, working case. Some people, it's working clearings. It all depends. But when you find that right one, it's gold when it comes together.
Yeah, and I get it. A lot of them out there, they have to make a living. I get that. You know, may it be TV shows, may it be
People
You
get
get paid for
do
TV?
I know.
I've been doing this
Really?
shit wrong.
Wow.
I know.
Paid.
I didn't see a paycheck. Did you see a paycheck for that last one?
Yeah, I was gonna say
No.
getting paid for TV.
But
Wow,
is
that's
it-
a concept. Doesn't happen in
it's nice
Canada.
getting a paycheck.
Sure, but what that happens?
No. They bought me lunch.
Yeah,
They buy you lunch and that's it.
No, I've had some
Yeah,
pay.
they
Yeah,
kept me there
Yeah.
all freaking day.
But
Put me
not-
on I don't know how many episodes, and then they gave me lunch.
yeah. But it's funny how people think that you make $1 million doing no, man.
No,
Sometimes you got enough to cover your gas.
So that's
Yeah.
how
Get
you
a little
buy
bit of
your
lunch.
designer
Yeah.
shoes. No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, no.
The longer you're with them, the better.
That's how I
mean-
get lunch. That's
When
it.
I hit
Uh,
season 5, I was rocking it.
It's different when you've been on
I got
something
more
for a
than
long
gas
time,
money.
like Michelle. But if you're a first timer, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
They do offer gas money. I turned
Yeah,
it
they do.
down,
They're
but
good.
I took lunch.
I worked with good people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn
Sometimes
food
though,
down.
when you find a good production though, you do get a good paycheck. But that's
you
the
do.
thing is not it's not very often, and especially here in Canada. I mean, yeah, in the States too. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing because of you have all these networks and you know, what is it? Not cable anymore, but all these specialty
Streaming.
channels.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, there's so many
I know.
specialty channels trying to fill their empty slots with stuff, and literally like grabbing at straws.
Well, the streamers, they have so much memory that they pay for, so they want to use that up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, a new like a new cesspool is here on YouTube. Some of the people that put stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some really creative stuff here on YouTube, but there's a lot of stuff you sit there and go, wow, people like a lot of other things buy into this, and you're like, wow,
That's true.
That's like TikTok.
yeah, well, like TikTok too.
TikTok paranormal is ridiculous.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always say to my nephew all the time, if you're going to watch it, because he'll send me these clips, and I'm like, I go, if you're
Yeah.
going to watch it, I tell them who to follow because you know they're credible. You know the groups. You've seen them on Facebook. You've seen them on TV. You've heard them. You know how they work. Those are the ones you follow, not these random and you know that they're like photo tuned and video, whatever the hell
It's
is
tough
going
now
on
because
now.
you've got AI. You've had people photoshopping stuff
Yeah.
forever.
Mhm.
Now we've got AI thrown in the mix. You don't even know what to what is real and what isn't real unless you really know what you're looking at. And it's getting harder.
Oh, it's
And
scary.
people who are completely like novices would have no idea. And just
I'm not
because you
real.
see someone on TV doesn't mean you're getting something real.
No.
It's scary. I saw
Seriously.
I saw
I'm
a
not
woman
real.
like video
I'm not
tune.
real, but
Video
I do have
tune?
real
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
It was video tune. Like she did this
I
whole
want
stuff
what you're
on
drinking.
TikTok to show how you can. It didn't even look like her in the end. I'm like, where's that
Yeah.
button? I need that button. But like, I'm like, oh my god. Like I feel. But anyways, yeah, I feel sorry for anyone who's dating. That's all I'm going to say right now because I don't
There's
know,
a whole
man.
new ball
Yeah.
game too. Yeah, exactly.
Different times for sure.
Yeah,
You know.
You know,
yeah. AI is scary.
it's gotten bad. It's gotten bad. You know,
Melissa, I'm not a robot. No, I'm just
No.
a figment of everybody's imagination.
I just fill in that box every time I have to prove
Al-
that I'm not. That's it. Find the
Alice-
traffic lights, and I can't even do that right. So
I think she's getting to the moments when you're very intense and not saying too much. You're just listening and
Yeah.
Who? Who? Yeah, I'm a listener for sure. I'm an observer. I'm a people watcher.
yeah, me too.
I really pay attention. I'm relatively quiet, but it doesn't mean I don't know what the hell's going on.
I think at times I'm overly active with that, like I'm
Yeah.
overly analyzing stuff, but I think that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing for sure. I
I
mean,
don't know. I read body language, and
You
it can
have
be
to be.
nauseating.
Yeah,
you have to be nowadays just because if you are going based on
What are you reading? What are you reading about?
You're sending me $5,000.
I had $5,000 to
2
send
pairs
you.
of Jimmy Choos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
don't
either
know.
or. Size
No,
7.5.
I don't think it's a bad thing, Steve, because I just think there's a lot of people out there who don't do it, and maybe they should do it.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a lot of mediums, psychics, and all that. Look at them with body language and how they read it. I mean, that's a very important tool for them.
It can be really painful too, because you pick up lies on people close to you, and it can be really hard.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. It definitely is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. But there are people who can definitely trick you. I think they're called tricksters.
Or gin.
Gin. We have to watch them. They're very, very evil.
Yeah,
and,
not the elderberries, like gin.
No. But then we have those little things called puck wedgies as well.
I love
Canadian,
saying the
isn't it?
name puck wedgie. Honestly, we had a
Canadian,
guest
isn't it,
on the
guys?
show the one time. He goes, and he was investigating puck wedgies. I kept saying, I have to say it. And all I kept saying, this stupid show, puck wedgie.
It
I
just sounds
couldn't
so
stop-
wrong.
It was wrong, but it was just an
No, it
impressive-
sounds
stuff.
disgusting.
It's a strange
it
little
doesn't
word.
It's like we're in Canada. I see a hockey puck up someone's.
Now,
I just don't know.
A puck
what-
wedgie. A
a
puck
puck.
wedgie.
Literally, that's what comes to mind. A
Oh,
puck
that's
wedgie,
funny.
and I'm like, what?
Simple
the
things,
hell
you know.
is a puck wedgie.
It was one of
But
those
who
days, yeah.
named that? And what is it?
I believe it's native, isn't it? It's
Then it's got a whole other.
yeah. Oh
meaning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's an actual native name.
Well, I like the word Wendigo.
I like Wendigo. Yeah, that's
I love that word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are cool.
I think it'd be even neater to find one.
I
Or
wouldn't want to
find
come
one?
face to face with one. Why would you
Some
want to find one?
people
Do you
believe-
come out alive from that experience? I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought
either.
Wendigo was something that happened after Taco Bell.
Oh, here we go.
No, it just happens after Barbarito.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
Some people believe that the Wendigo is a Canadian version of a skinwalker.
Skinwalker.
Yeah.
They're
Skinwalker.
similar.
Yeah.
I've
similar.
heard
Creepy
people
looking.
believe that they are sort of washed up Bigfoot, that can't fend for themselves anymore. I heard that theory.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard
I
that.
know
Oh.
because they could take a hide off
Mhm.
of whatever they find. If from another kill, they can, it's their way of frightening, because they're decrepit. They're not big, strong animals anymore.
What do you think about Bigfoot? What are your thoughts about Bigfoot? Since
How much time you got?
I know
mentioned it.
there's so
We got
many.
about half an hour.
There's so
Yeah.
many different
we
theories.
had the guy from
Oh my
Bigfoot
God.
Expedition on, right? Like,
You know what? I've had the pleasure of having. I read a lot,
Mhm.
and I have read so many different theories. I have American television, so I have watched all
Yeah.
kinds of different things. With that being said, we have brought some of these people onto the show.
Yeah.
And we had Alaskan Killer Bigfoot. And I'm thinking, okay, but there have been indigenous people that believe that they are cannibals. Some of them are
Yep.
cannibals, right? I'm
Mhm.
thinking, okay. But they also had someone on the show called Ron Morehouse who
Okay.
believed in the quantum theory.
Oh, okay.
he's
Yeah,
great.
And
He's great.
yeah, and honestly, we sat there like, it was just
I kept lifting
so-
my jaw off the
Yeah.
table, and I usually zone out with things like this. That it's not.
Yeah, he's a fascinating individual because a lot of people have had sightings of Bigfoot with orbs or UFOs in the area, bright lights, just a lot of moving lights.
Mhm.
Just like there's just a lot of theory, portals, footsteps just stop. That's it.
And I mean, obviously, the
don't
big thing is
Yeah.
the evidence, the lack of
Yeah.
evidence.
Well,
know?
I find it interesting when you see a set of footprints just stop, and there's
Yeah.
like they're just like, I don't know. You have to think that there's either you jumped into a hole somewhere, climbed up a tree, but if you're looking up and they're not seeing anything, the night vision cameras pick them up if they're in the area, but they don't get physically seen necessarily. I don't know. It's one of those things that like any cryptid, like any paranormal story, anything deemed high strangeness.
Mhm.
I love it when you could say that you can keep looking,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And that's Bigfoot is just, we had these guys on the show one time. Amelia, I don't remember if you remember these guys that came on. They had recordings they were playing, and they're saying, okay, if you hear tree knocking, do not go out there pots and pans because they take it as a sign of war.
Oh, we were just like, what?
Because we had a caretaker on one of the family properties out in Bancroft. And he was saying, I was hearing some tree knocking one morning. It was like 5 a.m. It was pitch dark. So I know nobody was out there, cutting down trees or anything. And I just remember messaging him, do not go out there with pots and pans. This guy's saying it's a sign of war. Like, I don't know. They're just like, oh yeah, they found nests and breeding grounds, but I thought it's just, how do you know they look at pots and pan banging as a sign of war? Like, did you fall on the other end of that? Because that'd be terrifying to me. So I don't know. We were just
No,
like,
the UK, no.
I mean, it's easy enough to just throw them aside and say, whatever, I don't believe it. And it's easy to do that. It's so easy to do that until but you're not that person who had that experience, who had an experience.
All hearsay, right?
And until you have an experience, like there's so many things in this world that you coined there, Michelle, high strangeness, that I never thought I'd ever experience. I never what? Like a UFO.
I've seen UFOs like my whole life.
You hear about them all the time, but I never seen one until one night when I was driving home from work early in the morning. It was 3 a.m, something like that, and bang, there in the sky above Lake Ontario.
Why 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
A
lot of theories with Lake Ontario.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a huge thing.
Well, look in Burlington. You have UFO Lookout. Have you ever gone there?
Well, you know what? It was in Burlington, but not at UFO Lookout. But yeah,
But over the water, that's where you look for them.
yeah, there. And in fact, there's an area that is quite active. I have found over the years, and that is if you make your way up to Walker's Line and Second Side Road.
Yep.
Okay, there's a little you can park your car away from the lights, and if
Right.
you look, you will see some pretty strange shit.
Yeah.
You know,
It's so desolate up there,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
So why haven't we done this, Steve?
You know, well, you never said you wanted to,
Because you
I
keep
didn't
going
even
to
know about it
Taco
until
Bell.
now.
huh?
I haven't even heard about it until now.
Well,
You keep going to Taco Bell. He doesn't
yeah,
want
you
you there.
keep going to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. Oh, wait, that's a lie. I didn't want people to know that. Now they're going to go out there and do it. They're going to crowd the place.
Smart move.
Uh,
And he's the one drinking.
Yeah, but I think the further you get away from the city lights, the better it's gonna be.
Well,
I grew up
yeah.
up north, so for us seeing them was really nothing out of
Mhm.
the norm, you know. I mean, I had a sighting where I spent, 20, 30 minutes outside watching one zip across the sky, stop dead, and I lived in a valley near a lake, and there were lakes behind the mountains, and I watched this thing descend for a few minutes. And then all of a sudden, within about 10, 15 minutes later, it just shot out of the sky, stopped, took off. And the next morning we woke up, the entire valley had, swarmed with, military helicopters from North Bay. This big boom, 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 boom. And the valley, that was just like, I woke up thinking, oh, that sky's falling. What I saw
Yeah.
last night, It's like I'm like 18, 19, it's just like, okay, what the hell?
That's
Who
scary.
dares disturb my slumber? It's like 8 in the morning. So obviously, that's where the military base is closest to Sudbury. And that's obviously they picked something up. But down here, I mean, Burlington, I never saw one when I was in Burlington.
Oh, really?
Moved to Niagara.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You would probably see a lot of strange things in Niagara. Come on.
The tourists or the
You know it. Hey, Ron.
Uh,
Niagara tourism makes Queen Street, Toronto look like child's play.
oh, yeah. It's pretty insane. But just going across the border there into Niagara Falls, New York, you're in a whole different zone in itself there.
Whole other world.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
another world.
Yeah.
You want to talk about aliens? Then we're going to talk about aliens.
Those
now.
are fun.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
freak me out.
But aliens freak you out.
Oh yeah.
I always
They
say it's
freak
because
me
they
out.
visited. No, they haven't. Yes, they have. No, they haven't.
Oh,
Yes,
people
they
think
have.
I'm like they just look at me and go like, you talk to dead people. Yeah, they're a lot safer. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like there's just something about them.
But you can knit a real mean one. Crochet this baby. He's got
So
a
is
piece
it-
and everything. Look at
Is
that.
it the anal probe that bothers you?
I don't know. Ask him. Ask him. Are they using lube?
Wow. It's,
Be careful what you throw my way. You never know. What
I
you're
do
getting
not want to
back.
know these things.
it's called space lube.
We
Yeah.
need
Okay,
to we need to
then
bring
we're
Ricky
okay.
on.
We're
We
okay.
need to
Just
bring
be
Ricky
gentle.
on for this one.
Yeah, just be
Ricky-
gentle.
Rick-
No,
Rick-
I don't know what it is. There's just this panic and anxiety, and it's funny because I had to look at so many of them because I had to make those damn eyes. We haven't named them yet, but I had to make those eyes, and I'm like, seriously, it's
I love them.
yeah. I knew I was happy that she liked them because I spent 2
I like
weeks with
my
him.
little alien dudes. See,
Yeah.
look at that.
I was
Got these
debating on
little
whether or
guys.
not to make them a
Oh,
male or
those
female.
are cool. Oh,
See,
I-
one goes,
oh,
and one gives you the peace out sign. See, look at that.
that is
Yeah.
those are
Yes, yeah,
cool. I like those.
Where am I going? They're flying. There we go. There we go.
That's the one thing I regret not being able to do when I went down to Vegas was to go
By
visit-
aliens?
No,
I was
no,
gonna say learn to crochet.
Amazon.
no, go to Area
Yeah.
51, the Area 51 Alien
Yeah.
Center.
But you think that's okay? Let's talk about these stigmatized places that have been overdone. Do you think that's one?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
But I still think it would have been neat to visit the alien center, though. I think
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. If you're down there, it's almost, like one of those have to places. But there's so many other places you can go to where you
Well,
can have like
I know.
phenomenal experiences.
The
Yeah,
question isn't where. The question is why.
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
What are you going to do if you do see them? Like, what's next? I don't get it.
What? See what?
If you
alien?
come and
what's
you
that?
walk into an alien, then what? Like, what are you
Peace.
going to do?
It's
Peace,
the
yeah.
experience. It's like fire in the
Peace.
sky. It's like
You have to
trial,
have every
Yeah.
experience in life. I
trials.
mean,
Wow.
getting burned, 3rd degree, 4th degree burns is an experience, but I don't want one.
Instant suntan.
I don't suntan.
See,
I'm a sun
Michelle looked at it
worshiper.
as in the positive light.
You have to.
know?
That's two sides to every coin, man.
So when you
One
hear-
person
when
could
hear
say, you
about
know what,
these-
anal probes are bad, but the other way you could also look at it is that it relieves your constipation.
Oh God.
Instantly.
Instant enema.
Yeah.
Well, if you wake
Better
up
than a
15 pounds
burrito.
later the next day and you can't
Yeah.
figure it out, check your butthole.
Yeah, that's right.
This is when we need to bring UFO Ricky on, right?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
There's UFO Reiki?
Yeah, UFO Ricky.
This is the guy we had on many years
me
ago.
mentioning his
Very
name.
cool. I like
Yeah.
that name.
Yeah, me mentioning the guy's name. I'm sure we're gonna get a barrage of emails or messages from some guy who's hunting him down.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's not good.
Well, there's a whole dark side to UFO Ricky.
You
and that-
notice there's a dark
Oh, there
side
is.
to a lot of
yeah,
people in the paranormal?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
There is.
oh yeah, no
We can-
doubt.
that's a whole other show. You can
No
get to all
doubt.
kinds of my lab stuff and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah,
Scary.
it's very scary. It's very scary, and it's
You know
sad.
what I find with experiencers? That they're adamant that their experience is the only one sometimes. Like the only type of experience, and they'll pick away at someone else's. And I'm like, wait a minute, like everybody has different experiences, whether it's paranormal or alien or whatever. You know, I just think that you need to listen to what they're going through, because for every person that has an experience, whether it's alien or paranormal, to them it's real. And you have to give them that respect and let them speak and not pick away. Maybe their experience is different. Maybe we talk about races all the time with aliens. Maybe they have a different race that they deal with, you know?
That's the thing. And I mean, because you're the thing that baffles my mind is you have your grays, you have your greens, you have, your
tall
browns,
whites
your
and
tall
little
whites.
ones.
It's like, like, is this are
Oh,
they
hell,
like,
you said I think they were over what 130 different races within our
we were
solar
shocked.
system, at least.
Yeah.
and
But
I
how
it
mean,
many
makes
are
sense
here?
because how many are we?
well,
and
and
How
that's
many
the thing,
races are
right?
we?
It's not all from the stars. There were some here long before us.
Mhm.
Yeah. Some of them are from
Dimensionally
here.
speaking, I do
Yeah.
believe a lot of it's dimensional. But I do believe there was just a lot here long before our civilization. We're not the first, like I always say, kick at the can on this planet. We're probably the third, fourth, fifth, So who's to say? And why is it the ancient people didn't have all these fears? They emulated what they were in awe of, what they saw, what they respected. Look at the Hopi. I mean, just go look at all the petroglyphs out there. Go look at the ancient monuments. But somewhere along the line, modern times, we were taught to fear. Things were being kept hidden from us. Yada yada yada. Right?
Yeah.
And then the skeptic comes in and says they opened the pyramids and put those on and made them
Sure.
look old, right? So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
You can date a lot of that stuff too. It's just,
Yeah.
there's always going to be your skeptics. There's always going to be questions. But I like that there's always going to be questions, because that just makes what we do last longer. It makes it that more interesting. It means we just get to keep trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think they're trying to hurt us. I think if they were, they would have done it by now. I don't feel like there's a threat with them. I just don't like it.
There's all sorts of theories. I mean, you don't even. I mean, even with the paranormal, with the ghost thing. I mean, there's that link.
Right.
that possibly these ghosts are somehow related to aliens.
Why
Like,
not?
I don't know. It's just
Why not?
but everything in the paranormal is so closely related.
But there's a crossover between the
Yeah,
paranormal and
yeah.
ufology.
Mhm.
At least half of the, I don't like to say the word case, but
Yeah.
half of the places or locations and people I've worked with over the years have also had extraterrestrial sightings or experiences from
Yeah.
either childhood into adulthood, or that was what was full on going on at the time. And
Mhm.
then you can have your misinterpretations. Like, there's a strong belief that there are, for example, demons and there are reptilians.
Yeah.
But then there are those that believe only in reptilians.
Yeah.
There are those that believe only in demons. But the fact is something's crossing over. When you look at even grays, because believe me, after having a resurgence of these guys, I started doing even more research. And there's a lot of similarities in sounds. There's a
Yep.
lot of similarities when it comes to sleep paralysis, things like
Mhm.
that. Um, there's smells. The smells are the
Yep.
same. And that's a great. It's not reptilian. The same smells, foul odors, things like that. Sulfur. There's just a lot of the same stuff. So it only makes sense that the two would cross.
And the one thing that fascinates me about this whole thing, Michelle, is we're looking at this primarily from a physical standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
tangibility. We like to have proof, a solid proof.
Sure.
And where I think a lot of what's happening and a lot of what's going on is a lot in the non-physical world,
Mm-hmm.
the metaphysical, if you will. There is a whole different sort of frequency, if you will, or level of existence that we are just not intelligent enough yet to patch into or explain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're so uh knocked in the stone age and trying to explain the paranormal, because we are still trying to find the tangibility of it all.
Mm-hmm. Well, because we live in a physical place, we need physical proof. We
Mhm.
need it.
Mhm.
It's it's just it's the way it is. It's people who
think-
go for readings want the same thing on an average. I think that's why a lot of mediums who don't need physical things like cards
Yeah.
will use them, because it's the individual they're reading who needs it. It's not because the medium needs it. It's because the receiver needs it.
Maybe we need to create and devise a what's called a paranormal adapter.
Right.
Plug in a medium.
We can plug in, and oh my God, we got all the answers.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
plug
that
in
be
a
just
plug in a good
delightful?
medium. It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, that would be just delightful if you
Mhm.
could do that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That just sounds wrong on so many levels.
I know.
Well, of course,
You're going back to the alien probing, aren't you?
No, when I thought about that, the first thing that came to mind is a blow up doll.
Oh, plug in a medium.
It's funny, Michelle. Alex kind of looks like a lot of those alien heads you have on your.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
It's not.
you
It's
like
not.
my
He's
little
not lying.
meditating one? He just sits there and he just meditates and zens out.
I can crochet a doll of you, Alex.
Sure.
You need a.
You really want to scare
bobblehead.
my daughter, don't you?
Oh,
No, I
what?
love her too much.
We need to make a bobblehead of Alex
Yeah,
Oh,
bobbleheads.
it's like, yeah.
and put it in the camera, and he just constantly go.
Yep.
Just give him some good tunes. He'll do it on his own.
Alex is rocking out to the
Yeah.
latest.
Exactly. That's all.
Just have one holding a burrito.
That would be epic.
What, like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, careful how you hold that. Careful how you hold that, though. It is Alex.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give a wrong impression.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for that to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Knit
Knit a
a
burrito. Oh
burrito,
my
yeah.
God, Wayne. Yeah, but I
Knit
crochet.
yeah.
But yes, I get it.
Yeah. You crochet your
That would be
burrito.
easy to do. You just have to give me what you want in it.
Just don't recommend you eat it though.
That would be an easy thing to make.
That would be like get your not free, but put it in the nocturnal swag shop. Get
Yeah.
get your crocheted Alex doll.
Yeah.
Alex, or a burrito.
Yeah.
You're holding a little burrito in his hand.
There's
It's the hand that's going like this.
Yeah. I'll make you alien-like. I'll give you 3 fingers.
There you go.
We could do a stretch. We could do a Stretch Armstrong, right? Because he's definitely like that when there's a burrito shop around.
Yeah, it's kind of like the arms on the alien Michelle has. Those arms are long. I bet you there's a pattern for that burrito. There's patterns of everything. It's just ridiculous, but that would be funny. That's a good one, Wayne. Now I'm going to be searching the internet. Burrito pattern.
The burrito crochet.
That would be easy
set.
to do because it's just tubular, right? It'd be easy.
Tubular, man. Tubular. Sounds like
That's
an
easy
80s
to do. Yeah, it's an easy.
Sounds like an
easy
80s terminology, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
So tubular.
Well, I was in school in the 80s, so
Yeah, so
I
was
was
I.
in high school then. So.
I barely remember the 80s.
No,
I was
do.
such a
I do.
bad kid.
No, I was too young to be bad. I was only 15, but yeah, wow. Tubular.
Tubular, man.
Tubular.
Like square
Tubular.
pegs, like
It's
The
almost
more
as
you
bad as
the more you
saying
say it,
swell.
the weirder it sounds.
That's swell. I like it.
That's
Swell,
swell. One of our
swell.
guests said it and we're stuck on it.
We're groovy.
Swell.
Oh, groovy. He gets
Groovy,
me every
swell.
time. So yeah, he gets me every time. So every time he posts, I'm like, you're the grooviest of all the
It's
groovies.
like,
And he just Gary King, he just laughs
Yeah.
his head off. What a nice man. Got really nice guests. We
It's
had
just
you guys on.
putting
You guys
things
are
out
nice.
into the collective. I did an interview one time. I said, "Can we interview your daughter, who was like I think 15 at the time, and ask her what it's like to have you as a mother?" I started to laugh, and I said to her, "Says all you have to say is swell."
Swell.
So she got on camera the interview. She goes, "Oh, it's swell." I was dying in the other room.
Oh my God.
That's
There's
hilarious.
a word for the collective that we haven't heard since the damn 50s, but you know.
Swell.
Some people
yeah, she
still
was a good
use certain
sport.
words. It's really cute. Remember when Crystal went viral before anything was viral? Everywhere you looked, people would say, "Are we clear, Crystal?" Now it's going to stick in your head. It
I can't.
stayed there.
Well,
And I'm
what-
like, this needs to go. This is killing me.
Well, the big thing now is, you go in somewhere like a coffee shop or whatever,
Yeah.
and you say thank you, and the person goes, "No worries,
No
I'm
worries.
terrible.
no
I say no
worries,
problem.
no worries,
worries.
No problem.
worries." That seems to be the thing. It's like, no
Yeah,
worries,
no worries.
no worries.
I
Yeah.
forget to say you're
It's not
welcome.
like you're
I'm always
welcome or
no
anything. It's
problem.
no worries.
No, I'm terrible. I always say no problem.
Yeah,
Or
the
all
rebel.
good.
I'm not going
no
with
worries.
it.
It's terrible.
I'm
It's
going
a
against the
terrible
grain.
habit. I
Yeah.
wonder if that has anything to do with the Mandela effect. If we,
Oh, now look it. Did you have to bring that up? We could
We're
spend a
talking about it on, I think,
no.
Wednesday night with
Oh, yeah?
Bean.
Oh,
Mandela
Bill.
effect.
Bill.
I'll have to
oh,
tune
are
in.
we?
I'm
Yeah,
so
he's going to talk about that in Aliens, he said.
Cool.
I'm
Mandela
so
effect.
mad, disappointed that I was supposed to do a show with him. God, I think it was 2009. We were doing a convention, and he couldn't make it. Unfortunately, I was so up. I really wanted to meet Bill, and Bill's a great guy.
Oh, he's a great guy. He's
Oh,
coming
Bill
back on next
Bean.
week.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Bean. Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah,
a
I love
sweetie.
having
He's a sweetie.
He's so
Yeah.
easy
His
to
last
talk
archive
to.
hit
Oh,
one
yeah.
1.3 million. I
It
sent
went
it to
up.
me. Went,
It went up. I
"What?"
think it went to
I
1.7.
know.
It's up
People love him.
ever since we
People love
posted
him.
that he's coming up.
Yeah.
Coming on like the day after I posted it,
Yeah.
his archive was up over 400,000.
Oh yeah,
The day
he hit
after.
the last one hit 1.3 million. He almost fell over. Me too.
Yeah. Well,
But
considering the Real
people
Housewives
love
of
him.
Beverly Hills don't hit those numbers, I think that's pretty good.
I
But,
know they
um,
love him though.
yeah,
He's
Bill's a good guy.
passionate. you know?
And he's not intimidating. He's
No.
just so
No.
chill and salt of the earth. And
He's
Everybody
back.
knows him.
Yeah.
you
Everybody
never
knows him,
feel
too,
you
so-
never
think-
feel less than when you're having a conversation with him. He's really good at that.
Hmm.
But you guys should go to the Halifax Symposium. Why aren't you guys going?
To where?
The Halifax Paranormal
Halifax
Symposium.
What?
You
Where?
should go.
What?
Can I screen share?
Yeah.
Can I
yeah.
screen
Go-
share?
Go for it.
Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put something up.
I think we had Bill on the show. I think it was like 2000.
Hold on.
You can get him right now. He just got it. He has a new book out.
There
Yeah.
we go. Look, there we go. Can you put that up?
Yep.
There we go.
Halifax, October 7th.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you the lineup. 1 second.
Elliot Van
Okay,
Dusen.
hold on. I'm going to do this again. The Outer Realm is their biggest sponsor.
Awesome.
I know. We were really happy
Cheap
about
plug.
that. Cheap plug.
Uh,
Go with it.
Yeah.
there's
Notice,
Go ahead.
notice how
There's
she
no
perfectly
such thing.
segued
But
into
look
that.
at the lineup. This is great.
Yeah, look at that.
You lost me. I'm sorry.
No?
They're
Yeah.
all coming on
You
our
lost
Chris
me.
Styles has been on.
Oh, Chris
Carol
Styles.
Walsh.
I don't know. I can't handle that guy.
No?
Uh-oh.
He tried, no, I'm just kidding.
We had him last
Lauren
week. He was
Coleman,
fantastic.
Richard Gallagher. Daryl Walsh is going to be on with Elliot Van Dusen because, like, very skeptical.
Wednesday or
The
Thursday. I can't
parapsychologists are going to
remember.
be on next week as well.
Kim Moiser. Who's that?
She's got a paranormal TV show, and she's always traveling throughout like the U.S. and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
she's coming on also, I believe, in June.
Yeah, we have
So-
all of them.
So I think, yeah,
That's
Whoop.
cool.
I know, right? Isn't that great?
Halifax. Why Halifax though?
That's where
Well,
they
because
live.
that's where they're
Oh,
from.
That's where they
yeah.
live.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know.
Chris came on and he talked about the Sherburne, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
There
really
we
good
go.
last week. He was
Down here.
When I think of Nova Scotia, I think I really want to go to Oak Island.
What the
Really?
hell for?
Why? So
It's
you
a
can bring some
sinking
nails
damn
home?
ship.
I
You looking
know.
for some nails?
Yeah. You want wood?
Exactly.
Were you looking for some wood?
I want some iron.
Well, that's the
shoes,
thing, eh?
yeah.
The more
Ox
nails
nails.
they pull out of the ground, the closer it comes to sinking, right?
Can I make a confession?
Absolutely.
I've never watched an episode.
Neither
You're
have I.
lucky because
Thanks,
it's the
Alex.
same thing over and over.
That's what I
We're-
heard. And
we're
but yet
getting
they've been going
closer.
over and over
We're
for
getting
what, 10
closer.
years?
We're getting closer. Getting closer to what? You're
Yeah.
getting closer.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to find something.
I think they're gonna dig so far that the island's just gonna sink. They're
I
just
think
gonna
they're-
come
Pull the
up from the
plug.
middle and just right
There it
over.
goes. I know. Pull
I
the
don't think
plug,
that
watch it
island's
go.
that deep.
I mean, I'll say one
You're going
thing.
to hell.
I mean, there's-
I don't care. He could be listening. I would tell him straight. And first of all, I would teach him how to properly say their last name. But anyways, I seriously, I have no interest in it. I think if there was of any value, it wouldn't be.
I had a
there.
friend who
It
went.
wouldn't be on television.
Island.
It would
Nothing
be in
special.
a museum by now.
Yeah, he was
No.
there a few years ago. Nothing special.
No.
it's sad because I really do think there's something going on there.
Oh, there's stuff going on, all right.
but I mean historically.
Sure. Well, of
but-
course, it's everything that
Yes.
was on that happened even before Oak Island was what it was.
Yeah,
A
but the
lot
Ark
of
of the
people came through
Covenant's
there.
not there.
Knights Templar, Henry Sinclair came through there.
Mhm.
You had the Vikings came through there.
Yeah.
You had so many amazing
And
historical figures.
that's a huge thing, Vikings.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
love them.
I really don't think they're properly documented here
They did not.
in North America.
They did not.
No,
No.
They started coming in through Newfoundland, and they came up all through the eastern provinces. You can see,
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
can see stone structures there. They're still there. You can see all kinds of carvings.
Yep. I
But
think
academia doesn't want you to know that.
No, absolutely not. Why? It's
Right?
it's like the wheel that they found off the coast of California from an old Chinese ship.
Yes.
That dates
Because there was
back-
a fleet of like 300 or 600 ships that made its way out there.
That's not shocking.
Well, it's not shocking, but when you say, look at this is before what's his name, this Columbus.
I think a lot of people got here before he did.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think they're the
absolutely.
only ones.
I mean,
Sure.
why are they so stuck on Columbus?
Because
I
they
know.
don't want to change the history books because
No.
it's too expensive.
Oh god,
That's
But
all
they
it
have to
is.
admit that they're wrong,
Excuses,
and they don't want to
Yeah.
admit
Yeah,
that
well,
they're wrong.
that's the thing.
It's
You're
a
talking
control
about a
thing.
curriculum of a few hundred years.
The
But look-
Vikings
but-
hit South America. I think it was in 800 AD,
I mean,
850 AD.
look at
South
look,
America,
look how
Vikings.
look how wrong Einstein's been.
Get me going. It's such a whole other show.
You may want to be
Part two
investigating.
next Sunday night.
Wow.
Oh my
Einstein
gosh.
and the Laguna brothers.
What are you saying, Michelle? Are we making a part 2 to this?
Oh shoot! I think we damn well should. Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
Meet us
There's
back here
so
tomorrow
much. You
night.
want to get into the whole historical side of things? How about giants? Let's talk about
Oh,
that. How
yeah.
Smithsonian was just dumping them into the freaking ocean. Bones and things just disappear in the
Smithsonian. Talk about a cult.
right?
I Google searched who are the people who own the Smithsonian, and I went in circles.
Yeah. Talk about
There
cult.
isn't an answer.
No.
Vatican Archives.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
They call it a library.
Yeah, they call it a library. They want to blend in.
I want to blend in, but
I'd
when
like
you-
to claim
when-
peace,
have an
but it
alien
ain't gonna
skull.
happen.
when you walk down too far, it's like, oh no, you can't go there. It's like going into the Scottish Rite in Hamilton.
Yeah.
No, you can't go into that room. No, you can't go into that room. No, you can't go.
Are
into
you
that
kidding
room.
me? So you're allowed in the lobby and the gift shop.
Yeah. You can have a Halloween party, but you got to stay in that room.
No, the Vatican has an alien skull. The guys who said aliens didn't exist until recently have an alien skull.
I would think
And-
they have more than one.
Oh hell, they have lots of
what
amazing
level?
stuff.
What
But
label?
that was when the photo was actually taken of.
What label? Oh my God! What
Blah
level?
blah blah blah. What?
Yeah. What level of masonry are we talking about here?
Just talking about the Vatican.
I know.
Oh, boy,
Easy
let's
now.
go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, if
I'm
you go
in.
back to the Medicis
Yeah.
and Borgia,
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm pretty sure you can do anything with that.
Yeah,
you can lead it
There's-
any rabbit hole from that family.
Alex, have you been keeping up with your meetings?
No.
Yeah.
That's why
Have
he's drinking. No, I'm kidding.
have they kicked you out yet?
They haven't kicked me out.
You're too extreme for us.
That's right.
Oh my god!
Are
Didn't
you-
we have someone who was a how many level Mason on our show?
Oh, wait.
We had
Okay,
somebody on. too.
here's
We
one
had,
you have to come and tune into. Hold
Uh-oh.
on.
Uh-oh.
We've got on the.
Oh, he's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
1 minute. He's coming up soon too, I think. Where are you?
Did you see that, Alex? She has a big book with all her
I
guests.
know,
in
I
there.
saw that.
I'm sorry.
We have to have calendars.
Jesus.
We have to have calendars that we can write in
Was
blocks.
that a pink or purple book?
I have a bigger book.
Oh,
Mine's bigger than yours.
is it the Necronomicon?
I have 3 versions of that.
I have to put my guests on a desk pad.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're doing 2 shows a week,
Okay.
so it happens.
June
I know you guys are
June
you guys are busy.
7th.
Yeah.
Robert Sullivan, Masonic and the Enoch Gate, a book he wrote. And if you like the episode, we can hook you up. if you're really into the Masonic thing. But listen, hear what he has to say, and But no, he's way up there.
That's cool.
Way up there.
I was shocked
he's
that he
way
wanted to
up.
be on.
I know.
I thought they don't talk.
Alex talks.
No, I mean, like like Masons of certain
He's
levels. I
talking.
thought they don't speak
I'm
to the
sure
public.
they can say certain things, and I was really concerned
Bullshit.
about the no King
Oh,
James.
sorry. I had to cough.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Yep. So yeah, that'll be next. Not this coming week or this week, but next week.
Yeah, week after.
Well, I'm sure I'll tune in. I usually do tune in for a bit to listen to you guys. So always tune in for a bit to listen to you guys. So
Thank
you guys have some great guests, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work, because you guys do great work. Both
Thanks,
of you.
you guys too.
No, we're slacking over the years.
Oh, come on.
You have a great chat room. I love everybody. There.
Yeah, we do, man.
They're so friendly.
I love the people who listen and watch the show and everything else.
Yeah,
There's
it's
some really,
wonderful. They're so funny.
Yeah. It can get pretty brutal at times, but it's fun.
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's right up my
Thank
alley.
you, Melissa. Thank you.
I'm comic
and I
relief,
wasn't offended
Melissa.
at anybody in chat. I love it.
I'm comic relief, so
much
like Alex.
Hey, you guys like snagged one of our guests.
You know what?
Richard Stanley. We just laughed like, listen to this.
It's funny
because I know absolutely nothing about H.P. Lovecraft, and I knew you guys would be all over it.
Well, it wasn't the H.P. Lovecraft that I remember.
He's well versed.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a
I
great guy.
remember years ago when Hardware was released.
Yeah,
and that movie blew me away. It just blew me away.
I like the Island of Dr. Moreau. I was
any of his.
He's just
out there. Any of his stuff.
Yeah,
I have the color of I love everything.
Color of Change. Yeah.
No, whatever
what
it
it
is. Color of
whatever the heck it was.
Oh my God.
I know we both know it, so we'll leave it there. We don't embarrass ourselves.
Oh,
the movie Color of the HP
Color Out of Space.
Yeah, Color
of
Space.
Okay,
oh yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Everything he's done, I absolutely love. And
Richard Stanley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's sweet.
I had no idea he was that accessible.
Sir Richard. I call him Sir Richard.
Yeah.
He's been on this show about 3 or 4 times.
I know you guys have had, but
he's a night owl, so he'll stay awake for you.
Yeah.
For the first time you guys had him on there, I'm like, wow, awesome. I had to watch this.
He's closest I'm going to get to Nick Cage.
No, he's very accessible, but he was also a good friend of our dear friend Hamilton White.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, okay, you're gonna bring Richard on. I'm like, who?
Who's
that?
Richard Stanley on. Like, we're just like, okay, whatever.
I had to look up the film. I'm like, oh my God.
Have you seen any of his documentaries?
Oh yeah, I've watched a couple of them. Well, to prep for the show. Yeah.
Talk about out there.
I've listened to all kinds of his interviews.
Historically, though, the guy is amazing.
Oh, he is.
He's just amazing.
He's fun to interview. Yeah. He's a lot of fun. There isn't anything he won't answer. He's very good interview.
I'd love to have him back on. He's so cool.
Yeah,
and I have to thank you for that, because I really do.
I was just yanking your chain. Seriously,
no,
it's not like we've got like a big corner the whole market.
No, we're not gatekeeping anybody. We're not gatekeeping guests. We want them to do well and do many podcasts. That's what we want for them. That's why they're on.
When they move on to our friends, I always have. I have friends at shows that say, "Can you hook me up with something?" I'm like, yes, no problem. It's just when everybody else just. Who have no creativity. Just watch the show.
I mean, like he was on, and we were talking about when he first made his way over to the UK.
Yeah,
and he had no money. He was looking for a relative, and he got some money. and he went to an all-night cinema, and they were playing nothing but Dario Argento films, and I'm a big Dario Argento fan, and I know he was heavily influenced by Dario Argento.
Yeah.
And when it just gave me chills listening to him when he said, "I sat in that cinema, and I'm watching Suspiria and going, wow, this is how I want to do films. This is," and I'm like, wow, it's so evident in his films,
And to hear
and
it come
to
directly from
hear
him.
directly
Yeah.
from him how it played out
Yeah.
was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just amazing,
Yeah.
super super nice guy.
He is.
Yeah,
To have all of that in one package,
yeah. Oh yeah.
you don't, especially if people are very eccentric, you don't always get, you don't get the full gambit in
No,
one
it's
package.
like it's beyond. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you have people come on the show and you're like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or they say, "What kind of fucking show is this? This isn't even real radio."
I know.
We've had that.
We're not
Yeah.
allowed to swear on our show. We're
No,
drinkers.
we're not. No.
Smoke
Well, we're
anything.
we're on
Yeah.
a FM network too, right? So
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think that's
we have
why,
to
because
behave.
I'm a sailor in real life. So when you're
I
hitting
know,
these
me
F-bombs, I'm
too.
like,
I'm
I'm
a
thinking of
total
Joe
potty mouth.
behind the scenes going,
no,
Joe saying, "Okay,
we're good.
Boo, you better
I
stop."
know.
We
We had
Amelia, you have
Alexandra
a trucker
Holzer on
mouth?
once, and she F-bombed, and we're like,
We couldn't play the
it was
episode.
Alexandra Holzer, so we're just like, okay.
We couldn't play the episode.
I'm
It
pretty
was-
sure we
we
did.
had a-
We F-bombed right with her.
When we were at the station, we did, but when we had her
second
with
time
Joe,
we
we had to
couldn't. Oh.
tell her we're on FMN.
Oh, I
we
don't
we
remember.
get fined. Like, you will get
I think
fined
she got blipped out.
$50,000 if it can't bleep you.
I
Yeah.
think, they blipped her.
they blipped her.
Oh, but she's hilarious. She's hilarious.
Well-
The thing is, when Alexandra comes on, it's like three girls having a glass of wine. So I don't know how interesting that is for you on the other end, because it's just us, like that, right? But she's always a great guest. Like, all our guests are just, they're so amazing. I love them all.
Well, I mean, I have stopped the radio portion of it, so we're okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
We get ripped off of YouTube too for some
Yeah.
things. Just saying. Not for cursing. Not
Yeah.
for cursing.
No,
Yeah.
No.
but I mean, yeah, it's interesting. We kind of when we came over to this network, because in the beginning we had the show on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, I've been there. What a nightmare.
Yeah, but we were on there when it was free.
Oh, wow.
When it was free, we could go on for hours. And
What year was that it was free?
2008, 2009, up until
Oh, okay. I didn't come
Yeah.
in until 2012.
Yeah, I think up
okay.
until about 2010, it was
Yeah.
free. And we used to have hours upon hours. Like that's where our dark discussions came into play.
Mhm.
We would literally just have people on to talk about some of the conversations are just wow.
And they could call in.
And we had call-ins.
Yeah.
In fact, Alex, you got one if you want to play one quickly.
I don't know if I have it loaded up yet, though. Oh yeah, hang on.
Here you go. Here's an example of some of the call-ins that we used to get.
Okay, I have recordings of evil angels going in my purse, unzipping it and everything, and snorting and growling and all. And I recorded tapes when I didn't understand. Okay, when I didn't understand the strange things that was going on in my house, VC went something like. I talkie growled like a cartoon. It went, oh, and then there was some
my
kind like a
goodness.
Rosemary Baby. And then something so low and they're like, and all of that. And so I let my good friend I called Mom listen to it. She said, I don't watch pictures like that. And so I've been recording down through the years, various recordings. I accidentally recorded them walking along beside me. And they was breathing like that. And walking.
But yeah, that's some of the fun stuff that we have gathered over the years on Blog
Wow.
Talk. We had some pretty interesting.
I wish that I saved it because I'm not going to say who the guest was because this guest is on television still.
Mhm.
An ex-girlfriend called.
Oh, no, she was
wow.
disgruntled.
Oh,
Little pissed
Yeah.
off. And I'm on with Bobby Brown at the time. We were working on
wow.
Jumpany, and I'm like, I have this person on, and I'm like, oh, mother effer. Like, and we were F-bombs then, and I'm just like, I am so sorry. And he's like, you couldn't have known. I'm like, no, but I wish I did because it was nasty ass. It was like the show Cheaters, which she called, you know, you stood me up, you didn't call me. And I'm like, shit. And then just like, oh, I'm sorry, we lost you. Could you call back? I, screenshot the phone number and make sure that when she called
speak
back
to this person, we're just like, not here, clearly.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was so humiliated. It's stuck with me so much so that to
We
this
don't take
day I don't
calls.
want to call in
We
show.
don't take calls. Yeah,
No,
we just don't.
I don't want the call in because I don't have, if you have
Yeah.
somebody screening calls, you could still slide through.
Well, well, I was asked to play. Melissa asked me to play this, so I'll play this.
Here we go. What kind of fun are we gonna have here? Here, guys. Here we go. Welcome.
Oh no, could be anybody.
This is Biblical Christological Account 40 Win here with a request for Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Biblically, I'm doing good. So I would appreciate
Biblically, but no, like, just how are you?
Biblically, I'm doing good.
Without saying biblically, how are you?
Biblically is perfectly valid to avoid confusion, as I'm appealing to objective veracity. So my request contra thou is to repeat the following phrase: "Our God of the Bible is perfect."
Do you guys give
Is
out
that it?
mushrooms on your show?
Biblically, yes.
Thank you. You can now go and fuck yourself.
That is perfect.
Wow.
I love that. I love that. It's hard not to say things like that with callers. Callers can get really nasty.
Oh yeah.
You think?
But
Yeah.
you have interesting stuff like this. This is interesting. Like this is.
Yo.
Hey.
Hello.
What is
How's it
that?
going?
Good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, nice. How's it going?
Good.
Not bad, thanks.
So, you guys were talking a lot about these like shadow people, right? And like these cryptids. They call them like cryptids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I was given something. I could break it out right now, but I don't think the definition or the what do you call it? The pixels would be good enough to capture it because it's like an old bottle given to me. But the thing that's interesting about it is the guy who gave it to me, how obsessed he was like over it, and what he thought it was. Like he thought it had like spirits in it, right? Like, and it has faces all over it. Like it's just not even like what do you call it? Not even couldn't be something else. Like there's eyes and mouths and stuff, and there's like I counted out like 12 of them, and it's like 130-year-old bottle.
Okay.
But like the thing is though, once you get talking about that stuff to people, like that's what makes it interesting. Because if you can really introduce something as of what it's almost like you're selling something.
So, anyways, the bottle
like,
is really neat.
Sound like
something.
It was like
Where he's showing the bottle here.
Is where we're walking.
Some type.
So
you don't
pass and stuff. So I do like showing people it.
Draw white light around yourself now.
Yeah.
The anticipation.
All right, I do got two phones. I could just use this other phone. How do you flip the screen? Do you guys know?
On
StreamYard, you have to go to settings, camera, and then change it, but it's often a weird number. It says
need
like
a gong
screen
here.
1, 2, 3, 4, and they're not what you think they are.
Roy Boy was asking Roy the boy, sorry, asking me if it was a dogman I saw, Matt. But interesting.
Okay, I'm a little shaky handed right now.
Well, here's
'cause
the
I can't
bottle. So
get
so
high
where did
energy when I
it?
talk
So
about
so where's
experience
it?
and
Where's
stuff.
where's this bottle? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, I
Oh,
can
yeah,
see your
the
face
is
right
in
at the top.
bottle, guys.
But
That's
could
the
that
main
not be just
one.
like
Yeah.
pareidolia,
And
or
there's
is
a
that
lot
actually
more.
something?
It actually, you can actually.
I
Oh
just
yeah,
really
I can
hate
see
it.
one on the left-hand side. Looks a bit demonic, perhaps.
It's they're all demonic. That's what's weird about it. Like they all have weird. Like this one looks like this one right here. Let me see if I can hold it. Yeah, I can't do it.
Have you ever felt like opening it up and just sniffing the air right in?
No, it's rusted shut.
Oh,
That's what's weird
okay.
about it.
So where did this bottle come from? So, anyways, I have pictures. I'll show you. I can send you the pictures of the bottle. It is 130-year-old bottle. And I looked into it, and it's an actual bottle, mass produced, for I forget a medicinal purpose. I can't remember exactly, but the bottle was actually really, because when you see the real, like the actual bottle, it looks nothing like that.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
bottle he has, it maybe because it was sitting out in an environment, in water or
Yeah. Who
whatever,
knows, right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Even the cap, the cork part at the top was all chewed and weathered and everything else. I mean, hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Who
not to
knows?
say it could be a prop. I don't know, whatever. But the bottle was pretty freaky. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. There was some
Regardless.
interesting faces in it for sure.
Yeah. So
And where was this guy located? Like, is he in the UK?
he's
Where was he?
he's in the U.S.
Oh, the
He's in the
US.
U.S.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
pops in every once in a while to the show.
He was very nervous.
Yeah.
He was. He
Yeah.
didn't. He doesn't like coming on the. Well, he doesn't like coming on and presenting himself live, I guess. But he was pretty cool. He's because he started talking about it in the chat. I'm like, I'd love to see this bottle.
Yeah.
And he garnered up enough to come on and show us the bottle. But the bottle was a part of a bag. There was a bag full of stuff that this guy gave him. He just says, "Look, I'm getting rid of this. Would this interest you?" And it was on a beach.
Oh, wow.
And inside there was a piece of really weird driftwood. He showed us the driftwood and some other items that was in the bag. Really, really crazy shit. It's just an odd story.
Yeah.
High strangeness.
Yeah, it is. Don't you just love that? Though it's a good
I
term.
love it. That's why
High strangeness.
Is there a way of taking
Yeah.
a photo and searching it on a browser that way?
Yeah.
To see what comes up with that. I don't know how to do that, but
I actually did it, and like I said, because I wanted to know more about the bottle, if it was a real bottle, and sure as shit, it came up and it showed me all these different types of bottles that this manufacturer had made, and then I found the one that looked exactly to a T, like the one that he had, but it was clear, like clear blue. This the one that you see in the photo there had all these sort of designs on it that the actual bottle doesn't have, which is weird. But like I said, hey, is it
pretty
a prop?
bottle.
It is a pretty bottle.
I wouldn't uncork it.
No,
I'd be afraid to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd
All
be
those little
afraid to because
faces
you
in
don't
there.
know if there's something in there. You have no idea. You could be unleashing something.
Well,
Exactly.
is there a gin inside?
It could be anything, right?
Anything.
I mean, Annabelle
You
was a
never
Raggedy
know.
Ann doll. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I know you don't know. That's the thing.
Oh, did you see that last week? The Annabelle doll was at the Conjuring house and they were doing a live. I just about fell over.
Oh.
I'm like, how did it get there?
Yeah, no.
Telepathically.
I just think it's a bad idea. That's all. It's just, I don't know.
Guys, get your info out there for the viewers and the listener. Well, the viewers now, where they can find you. And I have you guys link your YouTube linked up, anyways.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Amelia, go ahead. You're always so good at our station ID. Put it
No.
out there. How do they find us?
You're
Yeah.
listening to the outer. No, that's just on like.
I know.
We are the Outer Realm Radio, and we are live on Wednesdays and Thursdays on YouTube, and we stream archive on 250 different platforms. You can find us anywhere that you normally stream on. And we are also Facebook Live on, I think, 8 pages. We have 3 or 4 chat rooms. And we're also on Roku. So if you have Roku, you can watch us. And if you don't, look for us and share us up with your friends, please. We are air out of, I started with live. We air out of New Orleans on 105.3 and 107.7 FM radio every Wednesday and Thursday. But you can find us archived. Our best archive would have to be SoundCloud. But like I said, you can find us anywhere.
You guys rock. I love your
Thank
show.
you.
Thank
Keep
We
up
love
the
you
great
guys.
job.
We love your
Thank
show.
you.
the great
We'll
job.
have you guys have to come on our show next.
Yes. I want a
whatever.
blooper night.
Just
Oh,
let us
see,
let us
that'll
know.
be
Yeah,
when
you
we're
want your
there.
ratings to drop?
That'll be
No.
fun.
Our
Okay.
audience is always there, regardless.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
let us know, and you know what,
Let's
we would
pick a
love.
topic. Give it
Yes,
some
Michelle
thought.
Yeah.
books them. Yeah.
And yeah, we would well, I'll keep you guys up to date with what's going on in October. If you guys can make it, you can make it. Great, whatever.
I would love to. I
We-
hope
we
that
would
I
love-
can.
we would love
I
to have
love
you on.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love being with people. So
Yeah, it's
I love
fun.
being
It's
with
fun.
people.
you know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like-minded people.
I
It's nice.
I
I'm the
love being,
opposite.
I love being with alive people.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the
Alive
dead folks.
people.
Yeah.
And the dead folks.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. It's
Thank
always
you.
fun.
Thank
And
you.
take care.
You too,
Okay,
guys.
thanks,
Have a great
guys.
week. I know
Have
it's
a
past
good one.
Alex's bedtime, so
Oh, always.
love you guys.
Take
Good
care.
night. Take care,
Good
guys.
night.
Bye bye.
Good night.